Tēnā koutou, good afternoon. Our government is absolutely focused on how we can raise student achievement, and that's why in Budget 2012 we have put $9.6 billion in to reflect that. We know that what makes the difference for raising student achievement is the quality of teaching practice and the quality of professional leadership. We made a specific trade-off in this budget where we suggested that we would make a modest change to class sizes and funding formula ratios across the system in order to contribute to that policy agenda of raising quality. It has become clear to me over the last 13 days, fortnight, that that is a trade-off that parents are not willing to accept. Their concern has been raised, their anxiety levels have been raised, and I'm very keen to allay that. And so today I am announcing that we are reversing the decision in respect of class ratios. We will maintain them as they are now as we go into year 2013. And what we want to be able to do that so that we can focus on our plan, which is to raise quality of teaching in order that 5 out of 5 of our kids can be successful.
So this is a complete backdown.
We are reversing the decision to introduce a change in the class ratios. It has become clear, as I say, that the disproportionate level of anxiety that parents and kids and teachers have experienced is not one we are prepared to accept, and I want to allay that and put parents' minds at rest. But also it has become a distraction to our overall education plan, which is how we raise student achievement and how we get 5 out of 5 of our kids being successful.
Why is it disproportionate? Is that the reaction?
Because our assessment was that 90% of schools would lose up to 1 or gain up to 1
Are you saying that the public is
equivalent. No, what I'm saying is that we have heard the genuine concern of parents, and we don't want them to continue to be anxious about this, and that is why I am announcing that we are reversing the class ratio component of the education plan so that we can focus on getting 5 out of 5 kids being successful.
Have you discussed this with the Prime Minister?
Yes, I have. I discussed this with the Prime Minister and a group of senior ministers this morning who had delegated authority from Cabinet to discuss and make decisions on this. I put a number of recommendations to that group this morning, including that we reverse the class ratios, and we agreed that that's what we would do.
What's changed since Tuesday night when in this very room you said policy changes weren't on the table? What was the thing that has made you change your mind from where you were on Tuesday night?
I think that it has been an accumulative process over the past fortnight, and I have been very...
You were fairly adamant on Tuesday night that policy changes were not on the table. Those were your exact words.
Well, it's the policy change in respect of class ratios. We remain committed to our policy of raising student achievement, of getting 5 out of 5 kids successful. This particular component, however, was causing concern, and it was distracting us from that overall plan. So that is the agreement we've reached today. Well, I discussed it with the Prime Minister this morning and with the senior group of ministers. A number of recommendations were put. I put this one as well, and we have reached that agreement. So we are reversing the class ratio component of the overall education plan.
There are other problems.
Look, we're passionate, all of us are passionate about raising student achievement, and this particular part of the plan in the overall context of a $9.6 billion investment in education was clear that we needed to get the focus back on how do we raise student achievement so that 5 out of 5 kids can be successful.
So haven't you failed to sell the plan to the public?
It's been clear that that particular trade-off, which I characterised it as from the very outset, is not one that parents are prepared to accept. And so I don't want to keep pushing a particular trade-off that they don't want to accept. So we're going to have to look at others because we remain committed to seeing how we can get 5 out of 5 of our New Zealand kids being successful.
So are you still going to fund a look at the, come up with an appraisal system and possibly performance pay?
Well, there are a whole range of issues that we want to look at in raising quality, and one of them will be an appraisal system, because first of all we have to be able to identify where outstanding teaching practices are occurring so that we can make that common practice. And I think that we're equally interested in, as our parents, because they have absolutely responded to this approach that they want quality teachers in the classrooms of all classrooms in New Zealand. So yes, we will continue to look at that.
Your view that...
Sorry, did your recommendations include ways that we can make savings? No, we were discussing this particular, the concern that the public has had and been expressing about the funding formulas for class ratios, so that was what we were focusing on. Nāku I purua ki mua I a rata ngā minita tēnei whakaro, me e tahi atu, hoi anō ko mātou katoa e whiriwhiri e wānanga ko whakatau ka pēne.
So when your government and you and your ministry first came with this?
Look, I think that in the overall context of investing $9.6 billion, which has included a range of components that are all about raising student achievement, this particular one explicitly from the outset was clear that it was a trade-off, and that we were saying that we were proposing to raise the ratios in order that we could reinvest more into both education, including our approach to raising quality. Now, the quality part of our plan has resonated, and that's been very clear, but the trade-off in terms of class sizes has not, and that is why we are reversing that particular decision so that we can get on to the rest of the education.
So what was the savings initiative then? So are they going to find savings from elsewhere?
Well, look, we have increased by vote education $500 million in 2012. It is a tight fiscal environment, and so we have had to look at how we can make sure that everything we're doing in education is really value for money. But within that, we have remained focused on how we get 5 out of 5 of our kids being successful.
But you called it a trade-off, so it was a
that
savings
particular.
initiative. Are there going to be any other trade-offs to replace this?
Well, we are now going to have to find $174 million over 4 years, which was the cumulative cost of this particular trade-off. That means that the $58.9 million that we were proposing to put into initial teacher education and pre-principalship qualifications is no longer available. That leaves us a hole of $114 million over 4 years, and we are going to have to work on how we are going to be able to fill that. Well, I mean, it's part of the facts of life. I mean, we don't have that money now, so we're going to have to find that shortfall, and we will be looking at that over the next few weeks and seeing how we're going to be able to fund it.
Any initial ideas of what could be going instead?
Well, no, that's not for today. Today we're focusing on reversing this particular class ratio decision so that parents can have their anxieties allayed and we can focus on raising student achievement.
Could this affect the teachers' collective negotiations in terms of there's now less money in the pot for more pay?
Well, we have been focusing in the round on vote education. The collective bargaining is about to kick off. That process will unfold as it does every couple of years, and we will work our way through that.
But you've now got less money for that, haven't you?
No, we've still got $9.6 billion. It's a matter of how we work that budget through.
Are you going to be meeting with those student unions to try and
Oh look, I think that I'm certainly meeting with a full range of sector organisations today and tomorrow, and I'm very keen to see how the group of sector organisations can work together, and I am I am passionate about how we raise student achievement. They have clearly said that class size is critical to that, and so we need to focus on, well, how will that raise student achievement, and how do we put quality measures alongside of that, and how do they themselves ensure that this issue of raising quality of teaching and of professional leadership can be contributed to by all of them as well.
This is going to be unpopular policies like LC, for example, where the majority of people are against it. Why haven't you stuck this one out
the particular trade-off around class sizes in the overall $9.6 billion package was actually comparatively small for the level of concern that it was raising. So I think that it has been absolutely important that we allay the concern of parents and children, that we allay the concern of teachers, and we get the focus back onto how do we raise student achievement.
The group had already floated a couple of ideas about how savings could be made, including scholarships to private schools and other areas. Are they all areas that you'd be willing to look at as you look to make up the budget?
I'm very keen to work with the sector in all its permutations to find how we can together raise student achievement, how we can do that. Some of that will cost money, some of that will necessarily cost money. And so yes, I'm keen to work with every one of them, and as I say, I have meetings scheduled with all of the sector organisations.
But that sort of thing would still be on the table as far as you're concerned about considering different ways of making savings?
As long as we focus on, this is not about focusing on making savings, this is about focusing on how we raise student achievement, how we get 5 out of 5 of our kids being successful. And I think that that is something that all parents in New Zealand and the wider New Zealand public is really interested in seeing occur.
Do you have regrets about how this process was rolled out?
Well, I am concerned that it had such a powerfully concerning effect on parents, and that was never the intent. And so I do want to put their minds at rest that the focus unequivocally is on how we raise student achievement for all our kids, and that's what well, I mean, hindsight is a wonderful thing, of course, and at the time we thought that that particular training was one that, the public, the community, the sector would accept, given that the focus was on how we invest in teaching quality and in professional leadership. Clearly that training has not been acceptable, and so we need to move the so that we can get on with the rest of the education.
Why did you think it would be acceptable when you didn't consult on it?
Well, because the actual proposal across the 2,500 schools involving the 50,000 teaching workforce with the 35,000 support staff and the 2,500 principals was one that I thought would be ameliorated across the entire system. But it is clear that that is something that has been rejected by teachers and by parents, and so we have to look at a different set of trade-offs.
This policy was sold.
Look, I think that there are lessons to be learned for all of us in this process, and we will be looking at what we can learn from that. I think that overall the advice has been very good, and we will be, as we go forward, looking at what we might need to be doing in terms of improvement. But look, the basic fact is that in a $9.6 billion budget, this particular component has not been acceptable to parents, and that is why we are making this decision.
The decision?
Would there also be officials within any of the government departments that approached you prior to concerns about policy being announced?
Look, I'm the minister and the buck stops with me. I'm accountable for these decisions, and therefore I've made this decision because it is really clear to me that parents and teachers are not happy with it. So now what I would like to do, and I'm passionate about doing, is focus on the plan that will raise achievement for all of our kids.
So put it to you, you should reverse this decision?
Absolutely not. I took a range of recommendations to the delegated group of ministers. We discussed them all. This was specifically one that I put before them, and we agreed that this was what we would do. The Prime Minister was part of the meeting this morning of the group of us who were discussing it, and the meeting was based on the format of my putting recommendations, and in all the circumstances this was one of the particular recommendations that I put, and we discussed it and we agreed to it.
Who were the other ministers?
The other ministers were the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr Brownlee and Mr Joyce.
Have you seen the
I see my future as Education Minister being absolutely New Zealand
So this
students.
doesn't affect you staying on the role, given that you spent a lot of time explaining and defending this policy, which is now being
Yes, I am, and yes, this past 2 weeks has demonstrated very clearly that some particular trade-offs are not ones that parents and the community are prepared to accept. I've heard that, I respect it, and I have therefore reversed that particular part of the plan. But what I've heard from parents up and down the country is they want to have their kids having good teachers in every classroom, in every year. They don't want to be in the situation where too many of us are, where we nostalgically recall the good teacher we had. I think our kids deserve, and taxpayers to $9.6 billion deserve, that all their teachers are remembered as good. So I'm absolutely passionate, as Minister of Education, that our education plan is about raising achievement for every one of our New Zealand children.
Should somebody be held accountable though for misreading the public mood on this? I mean, a reversal has happened, mistakes were made. Who should be held
I am
accountable?
I am accountable. I am the Minister of Education. I am accountable. The buck stops with me. In the past 2 weeks, it has become increasingly clear that that particular trade-off was not acceptable to parents, to children, to teachers. And so I, having put that recommendation to ministers, we have agreed that this is the step we will take, and I'm comfortable with that, because I want to get focused on the larger education plan, which is how do we get quality teaching practice in every classroom, in every school, for every child.
There seems to be widespread concern about the technology funding changes for intermediate schools as well. Are those also being reconsidered, or are they?
Absolutely, the status quo has been restored, including the 1:120 ratio for technology provision.
At what point did you know that some intermediates would lose 7, 8, 9, 10 teachers?
Look, we knew from the outset that 10% of schools would have a more significant impact than a net loss or gain of up to one full-time teaching equivalent. And over that time, as we drilled into that numbers, that particular category, we were aware from the outset that there were going to be some transition issues and options, and that is why the Secretary of Education wrote to every school to advise them whether they were in the 90% or whether they were in the 10% of more severe impacts. That is also why we met stakeholders on Budget Day to make that clear, and that there would be transition options, and that we would work through them with them. However, over this 2-week period, it has become absolutely apparent that that particular trade-off, whether for intermediate schools or for technology providers or for any other kind of school, it wasn't acceptable, and that is why we are reversing it.
Isn't the truth here?
Process though rushed up to the budget. I mean, from
No,
what you're
the-
saying, it sounds like not all the necessary detailed work was done.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the process, as it always is an iterative process, and different ranges of options were put up, and the different parameters were provided, and over the course of that we reached the decision that within the context of our $9.6 billion investment, that we could achieve some changes through class ratios that would allow us to invest more explicitly in growing quality. That was a decision that we made. It is clear that that decision has not been acceptable, and so I'm announcing that we are reversing it today. And so we had first of all advised that there would be transition issues, second of all that there would be options for dealing with those transition issues, and that those options would be discussed through a working group and over the time till the provisional goals were cast in September. Now clearly in the past 13 days the level of anxiety about what might or might not happen has been such that it has been important to allay those concerns, and that is what I'm doing today.